This is Goku's son, DBZ, and today I am counting down the top 12 sci-fi themed video games. Now, what that means is it can be an RPG, a first-person shooter, as long as the predominant theme in the game is, of course, science fiction. And no more, at the maximum, only 2 games per franchise. That's it. But there's actually only one game on this list, one franchise that has 2 spots, and that's it. But it's because of their groundbreaking style and things like that. Anyways, let's get this vlog started. And coming in at number 12, Metroid Prime for the Nintendo GameCube, which personally I've never played because I haven't had a Nintendo GameCube, so I can't say what the game's like, or any GameCube games, unless I play them on my friends, that is, which was very selective, but yeah. But this game is regarded as, some say it's the best or the second best of the Metroid Prime franchise. Some say Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo was the best, but it's really a toss-up between that and Metroid Prime on the GameCube for being the best of the franchise. But there's definitely a lot of people that really regard it as one of the best games on the GameCube and of that generation consoles. Coming in at number 11. Predominantly a puzzle game, but it's still science fiction themed. And the shortest game to beat on this list you can beat in 1 hour. But it created more memes than anything ever. From Valve, which doesn't understand the meaning of a trilogy, never makes 3 installments, comes the first of 2 awesome games, Portal, which is definitely regarded as one of the best puzzle games ever. And some people think Portal 2 is better, others think Portal 1 is better. Personally, for me, I like both Portal games, to be honest. If I have to choose a favorite, though, even though it's a lot shorter, I'm probably going to have to go with the first Portal, because I really, really loved it. And I never understood until I actually played the game. I never understood the meme, the cake is a lie. But after playing the game, I can honestly say I 100% understand that meme now. The cake truly is a lie. And hopefully someday we can get a Portal 3. But yeah, it's awesome. Originally, of course, was technically more of an indie game. Got a lot of backing, so ended up getting put onto consoles, thank goodness. But it is definitely one of the most fun puzzle games I've ever played. And I recommend you check it out if you haven't. It's really fun. Coming in at number 10. On the PS3 and Xbox 360, Alien Isolation, which I haven't played personally, but a lot of people said it's the Alien game people have been wanting for a long time. And it's regarded, so far, very positively. Overall critic acclaim. It gets pretty positive overall reviews, definitely. Of any Alien game, I'd say it's the only one I've heard positive stuff about. I've never heard anything positive about any of the other Alien games. But someday I may end up trying it out once it drops to a lower price range that I'm willing to spend just like several dollars or some for to play. That's usually when I play a lot of games, is when prices drop below $10, and then I'm willing to check it out. Coming in at number 9 for the PlayStation 2, Zone of the Enders, which is a really, really good game. It's a fun mech game. If you're a fan of like a lot of mech stuff like Gundam and things of that nature. In general, if you're a fan of Konami, which of course makes Metal Gear Solid, you will probably enjoy. I would definitely say if you like sci-fi and like playing with robots and stuff, you will definitely enjoy this game. It's really fun. The bosses are ridiculously over large, which is kind of that way with a lot of video games, really. But it's a lot of fun, and I highly recommend you check it out. Definitely a good one if you're wanting to play some a little different than some other sci-fi games. It's really fun, plus it has a leveling up system like an RPG. You have a lot of missions, of course, and based on overall like grade and stuff. But it's a lot of fun overall. I enjoyed the English voice acting has a lot to be desired, and they did a better job on the sequel, Second Runner. But the first game, gameplay-wise, is really fun and overall, and I highly recommend to check it out. Coming in at number 8 for PC and N64, Starcraft by Blizzard. And I've never played Starcraft. Don't kill me, but yeah, I've never played. I've thought about maybe sometime eventually getting a copy of it on the N64 and trying the N64 version of StarCraft out. I mean, a Blizzard game I can honestly say I really like, which I play on the PS3. I really like Diablo 3, or now, of course, Diablo 3 Rebirth Souls. I love that game from Blizzard. I've never really played any Blizzard games outside Diablo. I've never played StarCraft. I've never played World of Warcraft or anything like that from Blizzard. But I'm willing to give StarCraft a chance because it actually sounds interesting to me. But I'm not a fan of World of Warcraft. Never was. Coming in at number 7 for PC and the original Xbox Plus HD redone on the 360, Halo Combat Evolved. And let's be fair when it comes to villains. No one, doesn't matter all the cinematics and stuff, you can't make the Covenant scary. I'm sorry. It's kind of like really just kiddie, cartoony type stuff. I mean, with like the little ones, they just run away with their hands in the air and stuff, and you just go up and like punch them. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I do like the swarm and stuff, but I still enjoy the first Halo. Really, it's only the second first-person shooter I ever really liked. Really, since the N64 GoldenEye, which I love GoldenEye still to this day, and I still love the original Halo. I played some of Halo 2. I enjoyed Halo 2. Halo 3, I was kind of disappointed by, to be honest, and I'm not a big fan of most, multiplayer type games, so I didn't really play any of the other Halo games. I like, if I'm going to play first person, sure, it has to have at least a halfway decent single player storyline for me. And I haven't started playing yet, Halo 4, but I'm going to be playing it soon because I found it pretty cheap at GameStop for like $5 or $6, so reasonable. And I may do a review about that in the future on Halo 4 once I've tried the game out, because I've heard a lot of positive stuff about it, so I'm curious. But yeah, Halo original, really good game overall, and it's regarded as one of the best original Xbox games. And like half of all original Xbox owners almost own the original Halo. That's the thing they said. It was the best-selling game on the original Xbox console. Coming in at number 6. Is a game some regard as one of the best sci-fi games, but also has a lot of elements of horror. It's considered one of perhaps the scariest sci-fi themed video game ever, because it's a crossover of the two. Dead Space 2. And yes, there's definitely a lot of horror, but it is in space, like it says on Spaceship and stuff. So it does have a lot of sci-fi elements, along with, of course, horror. But, as I've said on some of the other games, I've never played any of the Dead Space games, but I've heard very positive stuff. Sometime I will probably play Dead Space, maybe also Dead Space 2. Because I like survival horror type games, but most of the survival horror stuff I tend to play is more like PS1, PS2 era, for the most part. But I'm going to give Dead Space a chance. Coming in at number 5. Based in a post-apocalyptic world. Bioshock. Which is regarded as a great game, definitely of the last gen. You have the trilogy, Bioshock, Bioshock 2, and Bioshock Infinite. I recently got Bioshock Infinite, which also includes Bioshock 1. I just barely played so far some of the first Bioshock game, and I understand why a lot of people like the game. It's a lot of fun. It's really interesting, but I need to play more of it to get an overall feel of the game. I'm not one of these gamer people who breaks a game after playing just like 1 or 2 hours. I need to play at least probably about 10 hours of a game before I can get a halfway decent idea, overall picture of the game. I like to give something more of a chance. And the same thing goes with TV shows. If I'm going to give an opinion on TV show, I'm not going to watch 1 or 2 episodes and rate the entire show. I'm going to watch at least half, if not the whole first season of a show before I give an opinion on it. But I prefer with a lot of TV shows and stuff to actually watch the whole thing before I'm going to give an honest opinion or evaluation of it. I'm not like some of these other people on YouTube, which give opinion just off of 1 or 2 episodes. I try not to be as biased. I try to be more informed, more well-rounded on my information on things, rather than be completely biased off of just a little tiny bit, like some critics out there. But yes, Bioshock is definitely a really good game. And it's definitely regarded very positively, I will say, by game players and critics alike. Coming in at number 4, from Valve, which, if there's ever a sequel to this game, it'll probably be the most anticipated sequel ever. Second place, most anticipated game, fans can now say they're getting, which is the Final Fantasy VII remake. But this game is Half-Life 2, which I can honestly say I have not played Half-Life 2 yet, but I am going to be playing it because I got in that orange box with Original Portal and Team Fortress 2. I thought it was a sweet deal, getting 4 Valve games in it. I thought it was a good deal, so I got it. So far I've only played Portal on it, which I loved, of course, as I said. I'm planning on playing Half-Life 2 soon, trying some of it to see what it's like, because I've got 3 or 4 friends and coworkers that tell me nothing but positive stuff. They regard it incredibly well as a top-notch game, really good storyline and fun gameplay. So I'm definitely willing to give it a chance from everything I've heard about it. Coming in at number 3 for the original Xbox and PC, Halo 2, which is regarded as perhaps the best of the Halo franchise. Yes, Halo 1, I personally thought was the best of the franchise, but more people regard Halo 2 as the best. And given such an influential now franchise, the biggest franchise really exclusive of Microsoft, which is why it comes in at number 3, because of its influence in its sci-fi themes, and its fun gameplay, to be honest. It's really the first and only first-person shooter franchise I've ever really enjoyed more than one title from. And I can honestly say I've played first-person shooters like Call of Duty, and I do agree it's a very overrated franchise, because it only focuses on multiplayer. At least Halo has tried to work somewhat on single-player storylines. So I give them points in that area for that. But this is overall opinion, and definitely Halo 2 is regarded very positively. I will say that. Now, coming in at number 2 for the original PlayStation, Mega Man X, which is an awesome, awesome game, I will say. Of the games on this list that I've personally played, I probably would have to say Mega Man X is my favorite of the games I've played on this list. I absolutely love, I regard it as the best Mega Man game of the entire Mega Man franchise. I love the Mega Man X series, but to be fair, I also really like the Mega Man Legends series, so there's really only 2 actual Mega Man games in that series, and sadly they canceled Mega Man Legends 3, which outrages me because I love Legends 1 and Legends 2. I've yet to play Trombone because, let's face it, it's too ridiculously hard to get hold of, and it's too expensive. The cheapest you can find that game for is like $250. So, yeah, forget about Trombone. But, yeah, Mega Man X is really fun, great gameplay, and it really did evolve from the original Mega Man game. Of course, Dr. Wily is gone. Instead, you have these new robots, and you have this new awakened Mega Man, Mega Man X. And he has to hunt these robots called Maverick bots. And in the end, he'll have to face the head honcho, which was originally a Maverick hunter. And he ends up becoming the leader of the Maverick robots. It's an interesting storyline, and as I said, gameplay is really fun. As you beat bosses in the game, you gain their abilities once you beat them. And depending on, there is like a specialty like how to beat them. If you play and beat the bosses in a particular order, like if you beat like the penguin boss first in the ice world, and you then go to face the mandrill bot or whatever stage, which has fire, like the elephant, instead of lava and worry about burnt, it'll be frozen, so you don't have to worry about that. But certain levels play out a little differently depending on what order you beat the bosses. And certain bosses are weak against particular stuff, like the mandrill. You can be easier with the penguins, like firing ice and freezing him is the easiest way to beat him. And each boss is easier to beat, like a particular boss which has the power of wind. That ability is useful against the octopus, which shoots heat-seeking missiles. But there's a particular order to the way you beat each boss. Now for some honorable mentions. Honorable mentions: Colony Wars, Star Fox 64, Halo 4, Titanfall, Star Wars The Force Unleashed, Star Wars The Old Republic, Halo 3, Phantasy Star Universe, Forsaken, Robotech Battle Cry, and Star Wars Battlefront. Now, coming in at number 1 on the original Xbox and PC from LucasArts, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Without a doubt comes in number 1. Why? Because it's the best Star Wars game of the entire franchise. And that's not just my opinion, that's the opinion of a lot of people who have played. It's not only perhaps the best Star Wars game, and definitely one of probably the top 3 best games on the original Xbox, it's also one of the best RPGs you will ever play. Very rich story, and it created an entire Star Wars universe, which takes place about 5,000 years prior to the movie, Star Wars movies, which you end up, of course, you can choose between the path of light and dark depending on what you do. So it's got the good and bad system, but that's no surprise given who developed the game, which is BioWare, which of course has developed other really big games for Microsoft, games like Jade Empire, and of course big games obviously like their biggest franchise, other than Knights of the Old Republic franchise, which is of course Dragon Age. Origins, Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, and that franchise. But they are known for their good and bad system, sort of like Lionhead in their franchise, of course, Fable. But I hope you enjoyed this top 12 list. And of course, this is Goku's son DBZ. And please like, subscribe, let other people know about my channel. Give me ideas for future top 12 lists. And I'm debating about next Sunday whether or not to do another sci-fi theme or to just end the month with another type of top 12 list. But let me know what you think. And also I'm going to be working in the near future on 2 future game reviews to keep an eye out for. Original PlayStation, Soul Blade, the predecessor to Soul Calibur franchise, and also I'll be working on a game review for Super Nintendo for Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which is regarded as the best of the different versions of Street Fighter 2. But stay tuned for those game reviews, and as always, this is Goku's son DBZ. Peace out. And of course, you can also follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/GokuSonDBZ, and also you can follow me on Google+. And as always, I'll see you next time here in YouTube land. Oh, and here's a piece in honor of actually the second game on the list. This is the intro thing to the boss selection on the original Mega Man X. Sorry.